Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Teresa.
Thank you. Welcome. And happy Easter to everyone. We're so grateful that you came to be with us today. My name is Teresa Atia. I will be your platform leader for this morning. Our lesson today, we have the lovely Reverend Sondra Von Gyllenband. We're so grateful she's here, and she's got a really great story for us today. So I'm going to invite Reverend Sondra up to lead us in an opening prayer. So everybody, if you would, gather around and hold hands, and we're going to pray together.
And as we breathe in, receiving the breath of life, we feel ourselves being excited about new beginnings, rebirth, new days. And we can open ourselves to receive the Christ Spirit, allowing the Christ Spirit to move through us, allowing the Christ Spirit to fill us with joy. This day we celebrate, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay, we're going to have our opening song, and we're going to be I'm Glad You're Here with Leanne. Come on, stand up, everybody.
And we'll have the words up there, over there. Here we are. I'm glad you're here. Yes, I'm glad you're here. The fellowship is sweeter, just knowing you're near. It's so good to see you. I hope that it's clear. Everyone loves you. We're so glad you're here. Yes, we're so glad you're here. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. The fellowship is sweeter, just knowing you're near. It's so good to see you. I hope that it's clear. Everyone loves you. We're so glad you're here. Yes, everyone loves you. We're so glad you're here. It's good to be in community.
Greet your friends and neighbors. Hello to everyone there on Zoom.
Oh, hello.
I wanted the Zoom people to see my hat. It looks fabulous. I wanted you to see my hat.
All right, we're going to gather now. They're having way too much fun here. Lots of hugs. Got a full house today. Okay, so before we gather for our affirmations, we do use affirmations here in Unity as a tool to create our reality. We do believe our words create our reality. So we're going to create some reality here for Unity. So the first thing, let's affirm our prosperity. You'll see the words up on the board. Together, we'll say it. God is my instant, constant, abundant source of supply. I am blessed with health, wealth, happiness, wisdom, love, and success. Yay, for all of us. Okay, so now we're going to affirm our vision for our spiritual community. Together, with our thoughts, words, and actions, we make a powerful and positive difference in Austin, Texas, and in our world. Okay, and now I need the daily word, and it looks like Jim Connolly will be doing the daily word for us today.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The daily word for today is Easter, April 9th, 2023. I am resurrected through the power of Christ. On this glorious Easter day, I am resurrected and brimming with new life. The stones of defeat and limitation have rolled away. I am free and unlimited. Throughout my Lenten journey, I heeded the call from my soul to recognize the stones in my consciousness and awakened to infinite potential within me. I can now rejoice in this shimmering light of awareness with an open, joyful heart. My faith is strong. I am ablaze with the radiance of spirit. I welcome eternal indwelling life into my mind and heart. Hope never dies. Jesus transcended death and demonstrated life is eternal. With a grateful heart, I rise up and claim new life. I am resurrected through the indwelling Christ. It's a new dawn, a new day, a new beginning. I have risen. From John 11:25, I am the resurrection and the life.
Thank you, Jim. Amen.
Well, getting back to Easter, is it time to take Jesus off the cross?
Yes.
Is it time to take Jesus off the cross? Let him be free? I mean, we say that that's what we've done, that there's a resurrection and that there's a new beginning, and yet sometimes we just leave him hanging up there, right? Not the place he needs to be at all. So what we have here and what Easter represents is, and it's what it represents, because the truth is, Easter is symbolic of our lives. It's symbolic of what we do, how we live, how we hang ourselves on a cross, how we go into the darkness and put a rock there and stay in that darkness because we have something that we might be ashamed of, something that we've been carrying that represents nothing about the truth of who we are. It's just something that we've taken on, something that was floating through the air and we grabbed it and said, oh, that's me. Yep, I'm bad in that way. Oh, I'm awful there. So it's time to take Jesus off the cross, because Easter is much more than the crucifixion. It's much more than the rock that rolls. It's important that we come out of the darkness. What makes the remembrance of Easter truly special is how it is for us, what it says to us, how it relates to us, how we find the story in our lives, how we use Jesus as a way shower, as an elder brother, as an example of how we can walk through some difficult times in our lives and come out born again, renewed, living fully. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So Easter is an inner meaning and a spiritual significance about awakening and rising to spiritual consciousness. The spiritual consciousness of the I am. You know, the I am that's within you, that I am that's full of power. When you say I am and then add something to it, you're in the creative process. So Easter is an inner meaning and a spiritual significance. It's about awakening and raising that spiritual consciousness of the I am in humankind. It's that place where we, humankind, have been dead, and now we're awakened to live again, to live fully, to live brightly, to be so much more than we often think that we can be. So it's kind of interesting. You know, Jesus was crucified between two thieves. One of those was the past and one was the future. And now we get to live in this moment. We get to live here and now in this moment. So John 10:10 says the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. And Jesus is speaking here and he says, I came that they might have life and have it abundantly. Now, I generally use the New Revised Standard Version of the Bible. And I do that, but I also look up other versions. I want y'all to hear what it says in the King James. I come that they may have life and that they might have it more abundantly. More abundantly. There's a promise of abundance there. I'm not sure why that got left out in in the version that I was first reading. More abundant. That's to say that we are to live abundant lives.
Yeah,
And what's abundant mean? Does it mean health? I think so. Does it mean peace? I think so. Does it mean wealth of financial goods? I don't know about that one. You know, I often wonder because I know people that don't have a lot of money, but they're so happy. I'm like, well, maybe that's not it. I don't know. We're here to live abundantly. So let's do it. Let's just go into that place. So the resurrection is the rising up of the whole man, woman, spirit, soul, and body into Christ consciousness and into wholeness. Jesus did this. The tomb could not hold him. It could not hold him, just as we don't have to stay there ourselves. We can roll away that stone easily, completely. Every time we rise to the realization of the eternal indwelling life, we make union with the God mind. The resurrection of Jesus takes place within each of us as we do that. So I'll just say that again. Every time we rise to the realization of eternal indwelling life, making a union with the God mind, we are in the resurrection. We are resurrecting ourselves into the Christ consciousness. That's not really very hard, is it? I mean, really, it's not that hard, I think. But we make it that hard, don't we? So all thoughts of limitation of obedience to the material law are left in the tomb of the material world. That is part of the rolling stone. And he may have departed from the darkness of the tomb singing, I will survive.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I should do that or not, but I couldn't help it. So we are preparing for Easter for the 40 days before, correct? We've spent time in preparation and letting go of resentments, letting go of fear, letting go of. It's not about giving up chocolate, not about giving up our favorite food. It's about letting go of those aspects of ourselves that do not serve us. And I have yet to find anger, fear, jealousy serving me. I don't know if you have or not, but I have found anger a time or two. You brought me up to being able to say no. But the nice thing is I can say no now without having to get that fire in my belly. I hope you can. And if you can't, just be aware that you can say no, that you can put a stop to something without that fire in the belly ready to hurt somebody. It is possible. So metaphysically, resurrection is the rising of man's mind and body from sense to spiritual consciousness. Jesus was born in human consciousness, but he conformed to the divine law. He didn't stay there in human form and consciousness. He immediately went to divine law. Even when he was a little boy, he was out doing things that inspired him and fed him to become what he did. He is our way shower. He is our way shower. He is our helper. Anytime we need, we can have conversation with him. I had a friend one time that would not pray to God. He said, God's too big for me and I'm unworthy. I have to pray to Jesus. And I said, well, that's fine. You can always pray to Jesus, but know that you can pray to God as well because you are good enough. I thought that was really interesting. I'd never heard that. Somebody saying, I'm not good enough to pray to God. So when we speak of Easter, we're talking about a spiritual journey, and we might have some questions. Anybody have questions about the events of Easter? Yeah, you might ask questions like, how did that stone get rolled away? Who rolled that stone out of the way? Or if he left his clothes in the tomb, how was he dressed when they met him on the road? So, we can ask those questions. They're interesting, but we might also look deeper and ask some questions that might be more meaningful to us, more meaningful for us. We might ask, what was Jesus doing in his life? What was Jesus doing those last 40 days when he knew he was going to die? He wasn't running around like Chicken Little, right?
Right.
So we read that he was out doing things for other people, and he was out praying and meditating. And the night before, what did he do? He had a party. He had his friends come in. They ate and they drank. He washed feet. He humbled himself to wash feet. He got together with friends. So what's that say? I think it says that he had a real knowledge of relationship and how we need relationship in our lives. We're not complete without relationships, without being able to relate to others. So this is what Jesus is showing us. He was about loving. He was about loving everyone. He was about loving those who betrayed him, those who denied him. He was about loving. He didn't question. So we look at what was behind his actions. What was behind his actions? Because he was very busy those last 40 days. So if we look at the connection between his actions and his connection with people, we know how important people were to him. We know, we recognize that. And this is a cosmic pattern. You recognize that this is a cosmic pattern. If we went back a couple of thousand years, I think we would see this completely different. And we changed it around to take ourselves away from the overall cosmic picture, the overall cosmic importance of what's going on. So when we talk about something cosmic, we talk about stepping away from Earth, if you will, and looking at the giant picture, looking at what's really going on, seeing something much bigger. So we know that Jesus connects with truth, right? And truth was so very important to him. And he connected to truth versus connecting with fact. Because fact can change, but truth can't. Like one time the fact was that the earth was flat, right? But we gained new knowledge, and with new knowledge, we learn new things, such as how many planets do we have these days? There's different ways to measure. We have more information, we have more knowledge, so things are there, and he looks at truth. It is about truth, and that's what we're here for, to seek truth and to love. Are you aware of that? Do you think about it daily? Do you get up in the morning and go, all right, I'm here to love. I'm here to love. I'm here to seek the truth. I'm here to be one with truth. So on our journeys, it's important that we look at our journey and know that it's about love, it's about divine wisdom, it's about fearlessness. And can we be brave in the midst of this? So there was a young man named Hussein, and he lived in, oh yes, I'm just going to forget at this moment, where there's war right now in Russia area.
Ukraine.
Thank you. So he lived in Ukraine. He was 11 years old. Things were kind of tough. He lived next to an atomic power plant, and his mom was a little concerned because the Russians were focusing on that atomic plant. So she decided that she would send him away by himself in the middle of a war. So she put him on a train and he went 638 miles. That's about like from here to Montgomery, Alabama, by himself. He had a plastic bag, he had a passport, and on his hand, she wrote a phone number of his brother who was studying. And so he's going and he's moving out and he doesn't know anyone. He knows someone, but he doesn't know anything about connecting with them other than this phone number on his hand. That's brave, don't you think? Would you be willing to make that trip? Or would you say, oh no, I'm too scared? You see, Mom couldn't go because her mother was sick and she didn't feel like she could take her mother at that point. But a couple of weeks later, she became able to take her mother, and she did, and she went and they met up. And the mother said, I'm so grateful for all the guards that helped my son, for all the people that were on the train that helped my son. And so they had a little interview because it was so unusual. And they said, how was it for you? He said, it was fine. He said, it was fine. It was great. And they said he had the biggest smile because he was so happy to be free. That's brave. Jesus was brave. You know, we don't talk about that. We just think Jesus was above all this. He was brave. He showed us how we could do this. So Hassan was saved. His mom was grateful. And she said, in this small country, the people have such big hearts. Such big hearts. Now, one of the things I know is that there's some big hearts in this world. We tend to look at what's not very good. And I think we should have a news station that just reports the good.
Oh, that's good.
Just reports the good. Reports the people who have stepped up and done something special for someone else, because there's so much of that. So Jesus said, you can do this and more. You can be brave. You can have relationships with people. You can forgive those people who have betrayed you, who have denied you. You can forgive them. I did, you can. You can do what I've done and more. And more. A poem, The Joy It Brings. Now, when I think of Easter, I don't think of material things. I use it as a reminder of the joy it brings. Easter is about joy. It's about celebration. That's by Michael Burt, Sr., by the way. So are we in a place of experiencing the joy? So you'll see right here a number of plants. Think about what it takes for those flowers to produce. You know, they're little bitty seeds generally. They go into soil, so they're in the dark. And in that dark, as sometimes we experience dark places, they then germinate, grow, and bloom. So when you are experiencing a difficult time, you can just know that you're in the midst of bringing new joy, in the midst of experiencing new life. Today, the light of truth is illuminating my mind and your mind and the cosmic mind. It's about bringing light to that place of darkness. It is about rising up to the majesty of our sonship, daughtership of the divine Christ. It's about coming to a place where we have lifted consciousness, where we have found the fact that there is beauty. Even after darkness, there is beauty. We have to stand up. We have to use our superpower. Our superpower, you know, that power within us where we know the truth. We have to stand up and let the flow of life move through us. We have to stand up and let the energy of life flow through us. We have to stand up and let Christ move through us. We have to stand up and let go of that stuff that no longer serves us, to be free, to celebrate, and to have joy way past anything we know. So I'm going to invite you to affirm with me. In unity with Christ, I realize that I am resurrected into the life, light, and power of God. Together, in the unity with Christ, I recognize that I am resurrected into the life, light, and power of God. One more time. In unity with Christ, I recognize that I am resurrected into the light, life, and power of God. Namaste and happy Easter.
All that I am, all that I am, all that I am is holy. All I am is holy. All that I am, all that I am, all that I am is holy. All I am is holy. All that I am, all that I am, all that I am is holy. All is holy. Holy is
All that I am is holy. All that you are is holy. We are in a space, a place of connection, of divine connection, recognizing our oneness with each other, our oneness with the Christ, our oneness with Jesus, our elder brother, who showed us that we can walk through the darkness, be challenged, we can forgive, we can celebrate life. Jesus, our elder brother, who showed us we are to connect with others. How important it is to know, to connect, to celebrate with others. How important it is to be brave, and do that might challenge us, but we know that it's ours to do, so we do it. Jesus, a man of love, showed us that we too can love. We can love past appearances. We can love an agape love. a love that does go past appearances. So as we go within to that holy place, that space, I like to think that there's an altar inside that I can go to. So I go to my inner altar so that I can allow myself the opportunity to experience oneness with the divine. And in that place, I allow myself to listen, for I choose to live God's will. I choose to be in the spirit of God, following his will instead of mine. So as we go into the silence, allow yourself to listen. Listen, listen. I invite you to think of the beauty of the day, to feel the warmth of the sun, to recognize the trees and the flowers that are growing, blooming, reaching out to their potential, that they might do what is theirs to do. We all have potential. We all have purpose. We allow ourselves to live that purpose. As we recognize all this goodness, we allow ourselves to feel gratitude. Gratitude for what is, for all that we have. Gratitude for being able to come together and pray together. Gratitude that Jesus came. We may have life with more abundance. And so we say yes to living life with more abundance. In the name and through the power of the indwelling Christ. Amen.
Okay. Now is our time where we gather our gifts and we'll say our offering blessing together. Divine love blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Got a song for us to all sing. Ooh, look at you. You give those out now?
I am. I'm going to give these out. So I'm going
Wow.
to come through and I invite everyone to take a flower. They're wrapped in aluminum foil individually, like so. So you should be able to get them at home even if you stop for lunch.
It's a root too, this one.
They are rooted.
Oh, they are?
These are complete plants.
Whoa.
Did you want to go ahead? Did you want to?
You know, I know I could put this in, it would get, you know, the little roots.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Sondra.
Wow.
So this is how you are. You are a flower expressing with
You're a
beauty.
flower.
Thank you.
Well, I'll teach this song to y'all while she's giving them out. The words go over and over and over.
Thank you.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. And that's all the words, you don't even have to look at it. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. And they're all kind of parts. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Try a part. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let's lift it up. Wash over us. We let it be. One more time, come on, ever. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let the love wash over us.
So we're going to sing our peace song. So if everybody would please stand.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, in oneness all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me, let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yeah, it is. Happy Easter.
Please stay for a small conversation. Everyone.